Hey guys, Tiger Sheu with Pacific Rim Video, and we have another special guest for you, Lee Chesley. Now, Lee, can you tell us what brings you out to Asians on Film Festival?
I know Scott through, he's managing me right now, and I've met him through Gaku, and they told me about this, so I came out.
You know, you have a particularly interesting story, in my opinion. The way you got into film was a little different. Can you tell us a little bit how you got involved in film?
Yeah, I mean, my background is breaking, and I've been breaking for about 17 years, and my main thing is I'm a powerhead, so when I came out to the States, I was living in Korea at the time, and I came out to the States to, like, just film. And all my friends told me, you should come out, you should work in the industry, you would do really well, considering there's not that many females that do power. So I came out and I got into stunts, and then the rest went from there. I just soared off, and it has a really good connection with movement and tricking and parkour and everything, which is also something I got into. But yeah, I would say through the breaking.
So you're being pretty modest because you're quite successful, and I heard you're working on a little project right now, right? It's just a tiny little thing. Can you cannot tell us about that?
I actually can't mention it like in public, but it is a really big film and working with a really great director. But yeah, it was good. I've been really fortunate enough that I've met a lot of really cool people, and I've been trying to train really hard, and I've also been, fortunate to get hired onto a big movie where they need us to like do a lot of stuff that is within the realm of what I usually do, and it's a mix of recs and fighting and movement and parkour. So it'll be really fun when it comes out, and then I can tell you about it.
Well, we'll definitely be waiting in anticipation. And what's great about this festival, too, is that it's all about representation, right? And can you kind of speak to a little bit, so we're sure, in the b-boy, b-girl community, there's got to be some struggles you face. Can you tell us a little about the representation there?
I mean, with breaking, just when I started breaking, the biggest thing was I was a big power head. And
Can you explain a little bit for our
so power is like head spins, windmills, so it's a lot of spinning and rolling on the ground. And I was a big power head, so I liked a lot of head spins, and I did this thing called one-handed hops where you hop on one arm, and that was my big move. Those are my big moves. Funny thing is, in the dance community, in the subculture, Asians are dominating. They're the biggest influence, like not biggest influence, but there's a big influence of Asians in the industry. There's a lot of Filipinos, Koreans, Chinese, Taiwan, like everybody, Japanese. And so in the subculture, there's no problem. When it comes to the media, yeah, of course, because we get set in little boxes, and it's kind of like something that you have to kind of prove that we're different, that there's everybody comes from different backgrounds, and we're not all of us do this kind of dance or this kind of dance, and it's not really well known that maybe to the public that there's a lot of Asians in b-boying. So I think that's something more on us to break, and maybe it might change, but it just takes time. So yeah.
And you make a really good point about Asians killing it in the game of dance right now. Why do you think that occurred? I mean, it seems kind of fairly recent. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but
there's always been a lot of Asian people that I knew about growing up, especially Filipinos. And when I started, there was a lot. I think Korea's been dominating for a long time as well. I think it's just nobody really thinks about it at the time, because when you're starting, it's just breaking. You're not seeing like, oh, there's a lot of Asian guys breaking, and there's a lot of Hispanic people breaking, or a lot of black or white or anything. You're just like, oh, that guy's crazy, oh, that guy's crazy. And it's just when you step back and think about it, there's actually quite a big representation in that. But I think it's more along the lines of just people finding passion in things, and then them just going for it. And I think when I started, the culture was very, everybody I knew was more, high school dropouts, and like kind of doing it. They all were inner city kids, and now it's more college kids. It's people that are going to college and finishing college and doing all that. But I think I don't know if it's necessarily, if it's just feels like, oh, Asians are dominating because of the way they are. I mean, I would say for Korea, for sure, because Korea is like just when you're in the country, everything is about you train for 8 hours, 5 to 8 hours every day for like every week, and that's just more the culture of the Korean culture. But they don't necessarily train like that out here in the States, so it's
Lazy American.
it's like in the States. It's more of a community thing. You go there, you train, you talk to other people, get to know where they're coming from. In Korea, it's like you get it. You find the move and you get the move and you drill it till you get it. So
Do you plan on going back to Korea or just splitting time out here?
I thought about visiting when I'm not busy, but I kind of when I moved out here, my goal was to I'll go and adventure out when I feel like I've made my point to that. I've made it to that point that I can. But until then, I still want to kind of work my way up to get to do the work that I want to do.
Well, speaking of which, 2018 is just starting. What projects? Where can we follow you? Social media? What's going on?
Oh, you can follow me on my Instagram at bgirl with one S, so BGIRLMISLEE. And I'm mainly on Instagram, and I'm also a co-founder of a channel called Stance, and it's a YouTube channel. We do a lot of b-boy stuff, so you can find us on there too.
Awesome. Well, we really hope to see you make your mark soon. You're already doing it on projects we can't talk about, but it's going to be big.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Yeah.